Hello and welcome to today's video. Today we're gonna do a race recap of my turkey trot. But Mariana, it was only a 10K. Why do you need to do a race recap? To me, this was more than just the 10K or a race. To me, it was the goal that I set up for myself when I started training again and when I started falling in love with running again. It was my goal because I need a goal whenever I'm doing a sport. I'm a very competitive person, so training for a race really helps me to keep myself motivated and consistent. I started training basically a year after we moved. I started training on the 20th of March of 2024. And my goal was to do a half marathon on November. That was my goal. And I was going and I was consistent. I was loving training. But then around the 26th of June, so 3 months into training, I injured my hip. My hip has been something that I've injured in the past, so it's like a recurring thing. And I've never known exactly how to properly address it. I think I have it now, but that's what happened. If you hear voices, my son is here. He's playing while I make this video. After hurting my hip, it took me a long time for it to start feeling better and for me to start running without actually having pain. And then we traveled. My oldest started kindergarten and we got sick. I committed myself to doing the race, but the 10K in October, I was trying to get back to half marathon training, but I decided that was not going to be the best idea. And I decided to do the 10K instead. I have another video on that if you want to see it. And that was the 10th of October when I restarted a training plan. Honestly, this training plan was more boring to me than the half marathon because the half marathon had 2 speed runs per week and this one only had one, and it had one more easy run. And the easy runs are fun, they're okay, but I just find them boring. Hot take. And 10 days before the race, I finally signed up. There was no turning back at that point. But 4 days after signing up, I got a cold. I basically had a good month of training and then I got sick, which sucked big time. Any other cold that I had this year, I rested for 1 or 2 days and it cleared up. But this cold, I don't know, it was hanging on to me. So I mostly rested, trying to get myself as healthy as I could. And I only ran the day before the race. I did like a little shakeout run because I wanted my body not to feel as heavy on the day. My goal was to train 3 days at least that week, but I was too sick. That run before the race sucked big time. And I thought that I was going to have to change my distance and try to go for the 5K. But things got in the way during the day and I never did the change. So I just went and picked my race packet up and said, whatever happens, happens. My goal is to run consistently without stopping the whole 10K. That was always my goal, to get my fitness to that. And I knew that I could do it because right after I signed up for the race, I went out and ran with my oldest and we did a 7K. So it was fine. He was on the bike. He was not running. Race day comes and I was feeling much better. I had no congestion, just a lingering cough, but that has more to do with the asthma than with actually being sick. I still have it. I've been taking my inhaler basically daily, once or twice, just because of that. But it's okay. It's workable. So we start and I was like, don't go too fast. Don't go too fast. Don't go too fast. I was checking and checking and checking my watch to make sure that I was starting with a comfortable pace and not trying to just gun it and exhaust myself so I couldn't finish, or I would finish walking basically. So I was trying to keep myself in a pace that I knew I could keep and not going too fast. But I still went a little bit fast at the beginning. Those first kilometers were great. I was feeling amazing. We had our first hill and I was fine. I got over it and I felt great. And then it started pouring rain. Oh my God, he fell down. ¿Estás bien? And at the beginning, I was like, oh, thank God, because I was too hot. I regretted wearing the jacket that I did. And then I didn't regret the jacket because it kept me mostly dry. It basically rained the second quarter of the race, pouring rain. And then we got into the second hill and I felt a little bit heavier, but fine, we got it. And after that hill, I noticed that my pace went down. We still had the other half of the race to do. So I was like, I'm not going to stress about my pace. I'm just going to keep it above my easy pace. So that was what I was thinking about. Just keeping it above my easy pace and I was fine. So kilometers 5, 6, 7, and 8 were my slowest, which is okay. I don't care. I also got to see my kids around kilometer 8. They were near the path waving at me. I high-fived them. The photographer for the race actually got the moment where I saw my kids. So I'll put that picture around so you can actually see my face. I'll put the zoom in of my face when I saw them, the before and the after. It's really funny that he actually got that moment. We didn't know he was gonna be there. And on my last 2 kilometers, I was able to pick up my pace a little bit and then close those last 100 meters actually trying to really run for it. I was really proud of myself when I crossed the finish line. I was feeling great. I was not feeling so heavy and tired. I found some of my friends that were going to do the 1 mile race with their kid. So I decided to join them and cool down during that 1 mile. I just didn't cross the finish line with them. The kid actually ran like full speed and I was like, I'm not doing that. So I just walked through on the side of the finish line so that I was off the race of the mile. But I did get really sore the next day and the next 2 days. It's already gone. It was fine. I wasn't expecting to be that sore, but I know that the effort was higher than easy running for training or my long runs. I was just a little bit surprised maybe. My highlight of training for the 10K was actually running with my kid. It was almost an hour of running and him on the bike. We did have our few stops, but that was fine. And it was great because I think he is enjoying seeing me run and he wants to participate on a race. So my next race is going to be actually with him. And I want to prepare myself to be able to do a half marathon 2025. I really enjoy running. I really enjoy training. So I'm just enjoying this part of the sport and I want to keep myself motivated with races. And eventually my goal is to be able to race for charity. And the way that works is that you commit to raise an amount of funds for a charity and you get your bib with that amount of funds that you raise. So that was my turkey trot. I know it's funny that I'm excited and I'm doing a race recap of a turkey trot. I think racing is fun. I just want to have fun doing them. I want to do it in a skirt with makeup and just go out there and enjoy it. Having a race and also be able to do them for charity is going to give me a double purpose on why I'm doing the race itself. If you want to join this journey of running for charity in the future, then you know what to do. All the social media stuff. Bye. I was kneeling down the whole time and I'm just my legs are numb. That was a bad idea. Ouch, ouch, ouch.